The film is about a very specific story about a man who realizes that he's living in the same building as his wife's killer and needing to decide what to do with that.
We've really felt like called to do stories about social issues, create awareness, help people see what's going on.
Finally, somebody told our story from our experience instead of somebody else making it up for us and then trying to tell our story. It just doesn't fit.
This film, I felt, was based on main event because in Iraq we do have where people get, they are held hostage against their will and they ask for ransom, and the ransom is given, and despite the fact the ransom was given, the person that they were holding hostage ended up dead.
In this case, since we're dealing with Iraq, we really felt like after talking to many refugees, this is one of the #1 issues going on, and something needs to be done about it. So hopefully through watching this film, people will be moved and touched and motivated to not just sit back and do nothing, but to actually maybe make a difference.
The actors were involved because it was for the Iraqi people, and I really hope that we can offer some measure of hope to the Iraqi people specifically, as well as awareness to Americans. It was rewarding to cast Mustafa and cast Wasim and Lee from, just meeting them a single time and sort of guessing at what they could do and then getting in rehearsal with them or getting on set with them and realizing that they're excellent and just feeling like such a relief that you made the right choice.
I liked the principal, Nabil. Mustafa played the part of Nabil. He really brought that character out. You can see it in his eyes. In every moment that I was watching the monitor, watching him deliver those lines in Iraqi dialect, he was given the director 100%.
I want the truth to come out and not my interpretation of what Nabil should go through. I want Nabil to react as if we were watching him in real life.
It started out with a very big emotional scene, and that was my first scene this morning. It was a little tough because I did not prepare emotionally with other actors. I did not rehearse, let's say, for that particular scene. It was difficult because it was such a deep scene and I had to recall so many emotional experiences that I, as Tariq, has experienced in the movie.
Experienced things like this in my life before, where I've seen things happen in front of my own eyes, that I just pretty much played that role of that person that I saw.
What's challenging about directing in a language that you don't speak, on a couple levels it's challenging. One is that you want to make sure that the words that you wrote or that the writer Rebecca Score wrote are being translated and carrying the same meaning that you needed them to have. Idiomatically, the words are going to change. You can't just literally translate word for word, and so you're going to have to trust your translator to understand your meaning and making sure it's getting across in Arabic the same way as what you meant it. And you can never totally double check it, because unless you're going to learn Arabic, you can't double check how that's coming across. The second challenge is just not being able to adjust line for line. If I'm directing an actor, I might say, maybe on this line you should be thinking about this, and I can do that, but as I'm listening back, especially if they're in the whole speech, I'm not necessarily always completely on top of what they're saying at any given time, and it's just harder. You end up making much more broader direction.
The message that everyone should get out of this film is hope. We need to build hope. We need to build the forgiveness. I understand we cannot forget, but we have to try to forgive the other for what have done to us.
The film really aspires to a greater good, and we hope they'll walk away encouraged and say, that's me, I want to do that. I know someone in my life that's happened to, and I want to encourage them and love them and help support them.
I hope they could see that we could live in a world that loving one another is more powerful than killing one another.